To give you up-to-the-minute information about today's races. I'm Natasha Urich.
And I'm Claudia Bellafato. The polls in New York have been closed for about an hour, and many states across the country have had their polls closed for even longer. We're tracking races across the state for you tonight here from our Democracy in Action studio. Some of the races have been called. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand has defeated Chel Farley, winning re-election. Governor Andrew Cuomo has also defeated Republican challenger Mark Molinaro. This will kick off Cuomo's third term and Gillibrand's second full term. We'll have more on that coming up.
And in the 22nd district, a virtual tie between Republican incumbent Claudia Tenney and Democratic challenger Anthony Brindisi has Democrats hoping that they can turn that seat blue.
But the main story we are tracking tonight is the battle for the New York's 24th district. Republican John Katko is holding off a challenge from Democrat Dana Balter.
Polls have shown Katko is in the lead by as much as 13 points, but some experts say the race may be closer than initially thought. We have two reporters live from the candidates' parties with us tonight. At Dana Balter's party, we have Kendra Sheehan.
Before we go to Kendra, we'll first go live with the incumbent John Katko's party. Ashton Hyron is standing by live from the Sheraton on SU's Hill. Ashton, what is the mood over there?
The polls are closed and votes are being counted. It's very exciting here at the Republican Watch Party as people are cheering, eagerly awaiting what the results will be at the end of the night for their candidates. Now, I talked to one Republican supporter, Bruce McLean, and he told me that he's here tonight to support the people that are trying to make our country better.
I'm here tonight is to be part of a group of people that care about our country, for which I care about our country. And I'm trying to make it a better place by getting rid of some of this divisiveness that's going on.
Now, people are optimistic here that and people are socializing and just having fun being here. So Bob Antonacci, the Republican State Senate candidate, has been roaming around. He's been interacting with people, and he's really just been trying to get the crowd going and get people really into the night. Now on top right now with John Katko and Antonacci ahead in the polls so far. We'll be following along. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much. So in 2016, we saw John Katko defeat Democratic candidate Colleen Deacon with over 60% of the vote. A little more than 300,000 people cast their vote. Fast forward to now, we see Katko up against Democratic candidate Dana Balter. Today was expected to have a high turnout. Let's take a look at the polls so far. So far, we see almost 50% of the ballots are in. We see 87,000 ballots, and 48% have been counted so far. And we go deeper into those numbers. John Katko, he's at 53%, so he is ahead, and we see the Republican Party accounting for a lot of that percentage. Conservative Party comes up second. Independence and Reform, we're not seeing too much from them yet. Dana Balter, as expected, Democratic Party at 43%. Working families and women equality is very low. These numbers are going to be increasing. Like I said, we're only at 48% so far, and I will keep you updated with those in just a bit. And in the 2016 presidential race, Onondaga County showed Democratic support for Hillary Clinton. We saw almost 30% more of the people's vote in her favor. We'll come back here for just a few more updates in a bit. For now, back to you, Natasha.
Well, it looks like Andrew Cuomo will be staying in the governor's mansion a little bit longer. The Democratic incumbent won his third term as governor of the Empire State tonight over opponent Mark Molinaro, a seat he's held since 2010. The race was called at 9 p.m. tonight as the polls closed. Now, polls are showing about 78% of votes going to Cuomo, about 18% going to Molinaro, with about 27% of votes reporting. This comes amidst falling popularity and approval for Cuomo, but this win comes on the back of the midterm's blue wave. Now, Cuomo is one of many Democrats that are speculated to be considering the 2020 presidential election. And Democrat Kirsten Gillibrand seems to have smoothly sailed into her re-election to U.S. Senate, winning another 6-year term in the seat she's held since 2009. She won this race with millions of still in her campaign fund, and some speculate that this is in preparation for a 2020 presidential race. Her challenger, Republican Shel Shiavachi-Farley, has been behind Gillibrand by a considerably wide margin leading to today's election. According to Siena Research Institute polls, Farley has been unknown to about 86% of voters just days before the election, which is just a very small decrease from February. This continues Gillibrand's record of taking down Republican opponents on the state scale. In 2010, she beat DioGuardi 63 to 35% and then beat Wendy Long by a larger margin only 2 years later.
This year's midterm elections have already broken a series of records. Even though all the results haven't yet been tallied, one of the most significant outcomes of the 2018 midterm elections is the increase in early turnout voters. According to Politico, 36 million voters cast their vote ahead of today's election. Early voter turnout is not only the record that has been shattered during this midterm election season.
According to an article published by Business Insider, other records broken so far include fundraising dollars spent on congressional elections, the total number of candidates running, the number of female candidates running, the number of LGBT candidates running, and here are some of the Senate races around the country that have gotten a lot of contention and probably won't be over anytime soon tonight. Looking south in Florida, Republican Rick Scott has a lead of less than 1 percentage point over incumbent Democrat Bill Nelson. And in Texas, Democratic challenger Beto O'Rourke has pulled ahead of the incumbent and former presidential candidate Ted Cruz by almost 2 percentage points.
And another very close race in Michigan, where Republican John James is less than a percentage point ahead of incumbent Democrat Debbie Stabenow. Lastly, in West Virginia, a race that was expected to be very close, incumbent Democrat Joe Manchin has pulled ahead to a 5 percentage point lead over Republican challenger Patrick Morrisey.
So I find it really exciting that there's actually record-breaking number of female candidates in these races. I know there's been a lot of surprises in these races, but that's one I feel like not a lot of people have been talking about. But looking forward, we'll go back to Kendra Sheehan, who is live from Dana Balter's party at the Marriott Syracuse. Kendra, what can you tell us?
Democratic challenger Dana Balter. I've spoken with several people in attendance who say they are hopeful that she will pull out a victory. I've also spoken to people who say they are realists. They understand that Representative John Katko is an experienced politician. They understand he holds a lot of respect in central New York, but say he is a nice man, but on the wrong side of a lot of issues. Now, within that typically has a lower voter turnout, officials say with this big race, it is leading to a higher voter turnout than usual. Now, a lot is at stake as the Democrats look to take over control of the House and the Senate. Many say this election is supposed to be a statement about President Donald Trump. In recent polls, it appeared that the Democrats would be taking over the House. Looking at elections across the state, Democrat Kirsten Gillibrand won her re-election, causing a surge of blue fever throughout this party. Attendance here are still positive, and as the polls continue to come in through elections across the state and country, you can hear the excitement as Democrats are pulling over victories. Listen right behind me as election results are being released, and you can hear the crowd is cheering. Polls for this election in the 24th Congressional District have not been released yet. However, attendees here are very positive.
So much. Let's take a look at these. I said we would be refreshing. I don't think we see too many changes right now, but like we said before, John Katko is in the lead, and we saw him obviously win the election last year as well, so there was a lot of talk around him probably sweeping again this year. And like I said before, a lot of the votes we see come from the Democratic and Republican parties. We don't see much representation from the Independence Party or the Reform Party, and on the Democratic side, we also see that as far as the working families and women's equality. And we'll keep you updated on all of that, but for now, we'll send it back to Natasha.
All right, now thank you for joining us at Democracy in Action. That will do it for us here with our team at the desk and here in the newsroom at the NCC newsroom in Syracuse University. Although this will be today's final update, continue to explore our site to see, hear, and read stories about the voters of Onondaga County. Have a great evening, Syracuse.